In this video, we're going to be talking about mistakes not to make when doing makeup. So starting off, we'll be talking about eyebrows. Before you apply your eyebrows, before you draw on your eyebrows, because what you don't want is an eyebrow like this. If you look at my eyebrow tutorial, you see that there's different ways to make sure your eyebrows last long, which it could be eyebrow gel, eyebrow glue, you know, something that's gonna make your brows last or stay in place. You can't just put pencil, whatever you use to do your brows, without prepping them first. It got to be glued. I like the old version, which is just the normal got to be glued gel. We brush on my brows and make sure they're in place, and I make sure I use the back of the spoolie to make sure they are stuck and they do not move. You can see here that we're talking about getting rid of dark circles. If you've got hyperpigmentation, acne scarring, it's important to color correct the plate, because if you just put it on, you're going to see the marks on the foundation, or you're going to see a gray area under here. So I like to use my Elegel, my good old Elegel color corrector, and then on top I also go with my little light foundation or concealer. That's the same shade. You don't want to put too much because you don't want it to cake up and then crease at the end. Once I've done that, to get a puff, which is like a triangle puff, a round puff, whatever you've got, I get a bit of setting powder, a little bit, and I just get rid of any extra residue, and I go over where I have put that, because I don't want to pile on ingredients when I've not set it. The same setting powder, I like to just put setting powder where I will have smile lines, so that is also prepping for the foundation, and you know, so that even when I smile there won't be deep creases when I smile. Next, we're talking about foundation. When applying, one of the mistakes I see is using the stroke motion, and to be honest, I don't think that's a great way to apply foundation, because it's going to be left with streaks and all that prep you did on your skin. Moving product, pretty much removing the product down, and then you're going to have patches, and then you're going to have streaks. So the best way is tapping motion. I do also mention this in my foundation tutorial, and I go in depth if you want to watch that video here, so you guys can have a look. So it's always good to just tap motion, that way you have a flawless application. Make sure you clean your brush, use a flat top brush if you're a beginner, or use a beauty blender that's damp, not dry. Moving on to setting your concealer, you want to get rid of any creases with either a beauty blender or the brush that you use to apply your concealer. So you want to look up where you're not looking down, and it will just leave creases, because when you look down your eyes crease. Then whatever you're using to set your eyes, your concealer, dust off any excess, because when you put a lot, that's gonna look cakey without getting rid of any excess. There shouldn't be any lumps of setting powder, and then you want to go where you have put concealer, and you lightly tap until it's dissolved, and then that's setting the concealer. Then if you want to bake, you go again with it, but make sure you get rid of any residue, because that's another way you can get cakey makeup, and the last thing we need is cakey makeup. So there you go, guys. That's it when it comes to the mistakes to avoid when doing makeup. To achieve a flawless makeup, we all want flawless makeup, and maybe you already knew these things, maybe you don't, but I wanted to share this with you guys. I hope this video was very informative, was very helpful, and I'll see you in the next video, guys. Bye.